Thanks so much for joining us today and taking the time to speak to us.
Great, good seeing you again.
Good seeing
you. It seems
you
like
too.
every web hosting day we get back together,
Yes.
so it's great.
Good seeing you too. Okay, so first question is, Microsoft seems to have a pretty prominent role at these Web Hosting Day events that seems to be growing every year. You guys have a particularly obvious presence this year. So what's behind the strategy behind Microsoft's high-profile presence at this year's event?
First of all, I think we have a very close relationship also with the organizing team with Intergenia. That has been going on for years. So we actually had the opportunity to also contribute to some of the design or to some of the ideas around the event. We considered this event as the strategic event, the strategic public event also for us in Europe.
Really?
So it's something that we consider, we work with Intergenia and supporting them to actually drive this event forward.
Great. So besides being a platinum sponsor, you guys also have 2 workshops at the event.
Correct.
Can you tell me a bit about those?
Yeah, so one of the things that we're going to do besides having our booth presence and of course taking the opportunity to meet with as many partners as possible, we have a keynote, so I can actually update you a little bit on that later on.
Yeah.
The other thing is we do have 2 workshops, so we'll dive deeper into Windows Server 2008, some of the technologies like virtualization that our partners are actually asking for. And we'll also be looking at some of the German development that we've been doing in Germany, which I'm especially proud of, being German, which is the advanced Windows hosting solution, which some of our German developers have actually come forward with.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well, speaking of Windows Server 2008, I understand that you guys are bringing one of the Hosting Days events to Web Hosting Day. So why bring it here?
Well, you could say the more the merrier, you know. So I hear rumors that we're going to hit 1,000 attendees this year, which is
significantly bigger than last year.
Which is going to more than double.
Right.
I think the attendees we had last year, if I remember the numbers right. Mm-hmm. We also feel that the audience that is following the keynotes is not necessarily the audience that would actually attend some of our Windows Server 2008 seminars, which are highly technical. So we actually will have hand-on facilities to actually train technical people on how to manage and how to implement Windows Server 2008 solutions. So we figured this is a great place to be and bring those communities together.
So we've been covering the enterprise launch of Windows Server 2008, SQL Server, and Visual Studio back in North America, and people are very excited about the increase in security, the higher automation with tasks, as well as virtualization, the big thing, right? So what's the feedback been like here across the pond?
So the feedback that I've been seeing, and I'm responsible for international, so this is everywhere outside the US, the feedback has been phenomenal. Yeah. So we've had consistently extremely high ratings on the seminars, on the tours that we've been doing. Right. I think we must have had over 2,000 people actually hands-on trained on Windows Server 2008 in the different roadshows.
Really?
From China all the way down to Latin America. So there's roadshows probably going on as we speak, and the feedback has been really, really good.
So just out of curiosity, how much of your developers network is Windows Server 2008 ready, would you say?
Tough question. So let me answer it this way. So we've been training developers for at least the last year on Windows Server 2008. I guess another indicator that we could see is the partners. The reports that we're getting back from our partners that have Windows Server 2008 offers in place, the hosters, they are getting extremely good uptake. So that means there must be demand in the market, so there must be people out there who actually know how to develop. I can't give you a percentage figure, but it is one of our key focus areas, and I can see and I can feel from the uptake that it's actually growing very, very rapidly.
So going into the keynote that you mentioned earlier, next generation hosting, which seems to be a huge Microsoft push, at least as of late, can you elaborate a bit on it?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny because when I prepared for this presentation, so I speak to my marketing teams and they say things, like, oh, there's going to be senior people in the audience, and you're a senior guy, so you have to be strategic, you have to be visionary, you have to be out there. And then I figured, inspire. And then I figured, so what does that really mean? Do I spend 45 minutes talking about stuff that nobody understands, trying to impress people? I'm going to be as tangible as I can be. So I'm going to describe, probably for 5 minutes, what's our vision out there. Why do we talk about software plus services when the world talks about SaaS?
Exactly.
So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about this, that we are taking a little bit of a broader view of looking at the end customer experience all the way to the back-end platforms. So that's one of the things that I'm going to be covering. But then I want to spend most of my time really talking about what are some of the tangible things that service providers can do with Microsoft to actually make this vision reality. Yeah. So I'm going to get real boring, and I'm going to talk about real things we can do together.
With the open source toolkit announcement that Ballmer recently made, can we expect to see more interoperability with Windows Server 2008?
So short answer is yes, absolutely. So no, but it's clear. I mean, I think there's some proof points in the market. It's another thing that I'm going to cover in my presentation as well, is when we see the capability of running PHP also on Windows Server 2008 or running on top of IIS. So that is a very important development for us, and I think that is also one of the benefits that we can bring to the service provider community. It is actually one of the things that I'm putting the focus of my organization is to enable service providers on Windows Server 2008 to actually drive this development forward. So we're going to actually offer 2 days free consultancy until the end of the month. So anybody who wants to launch a Windows Server 2008 offer has the opportunity until the end of the month to get 2 days free of really senior consultants that can actually help support people to actually get an offer in place. So that's one of the sides. There's a proof point. The other thing is we do spend a lot of time working with the developer community, support them on making their applications available also on Windows Server 2008. So it's one of our focus areas. So long answer to a short story, which is yes.
Yes. Fantastic. Well, you know what? Thanks so much for taking the time, and we'll speak to you again soon.
Thanks so much.